Hey beauties, welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be going over all 5 of the new Natasha Denona Chromium liquid shadows. I received these in PR. However, I did buy all of them as well. This is what they look like. And these are the ones that I purchased from Sephora. So what I'm going to do is, I don't need to have both of these. So I want to give these to somebody else. I will be doing a giveaway and I'll give you all that information at the end of the video. I'm going to be putting all of these on my eyes so you guys can see how they look just by themselves and how they apply, as well as doing this look right here. And I'm going to show you guys some comparisons because multi-chrome shadows are not new. Indie brands have been doing this for a little while now. I've tried out several other ones. Sydney Grace is definitely my favorite so far. And yeah, I'm going to show you those and these and we'll talk about it. But before I do, I'm going to give you guys all of the information and the swatches of these beauties. As I mentioned, there are 5 different shades and all of these have a really beautiful shift to them in different color variants, and they retail for $28 a piece and they're a limited edition. I don't know, with limited edition, you just never really know if it's actually going to be or if it is not. But as of right now, limited edition. These are described as a shadow that features a jelly texture with a fresh, hydrating feel and creates multi-chrome finish with color shift at different angles of light and reflection. I have to say that these do have a very, I don't know, it feels cooling on the eye and they do feel kind of like jelly-esque. Not full on like goopy or anything like that, but they just have like this gel type of texture to them that's really nice. For the shades, we have Infra Nude, which is described as a gold with yellow and red pink reflex and a duochrome finish. Dragonfly, purple with gold and orange reflex and a duochrome finish. Dogbane, a red with orange and gold reflex duochrome finish. I'm not going to keep saying that, I'm sorry. Next, we have Scarab, gold with yellow and blue reflex, and lastly Ultraviolet, a violet with purple and green reflex. You can apply these liquid shadows in several different ways. You can use your finger if you would like. I personally prefer to use a brush just because I feel like I get a little bit more control out of it, and I like to use that tapping motion and just kind of place it rather than swipe and move the product around too much. But you can also just go in with the doe foot applicator, which I'm going to show you right now. It's a small applicator and has a nice bit of bend to it. So if you were to use it on your eyes, it does actually move across the lid, seeing as that's not a flat surface. It moves across the lid very nicely, but I prefer to take my brush, like the Refer number 21, the MAC 242, anything like that. I like to just pick up the product like so, get it on my brush, start in the middle, and then kind of start tapping it out. I'm going to go ahead and jump into the application where I apply these to the lid, and I do try to see if I can layer them as well as putting them with other colors and see how that works. And then after that, I will show you guys this little simple look right here, and then we will get into my thoughts. The first shade I'm going in with is Dragonfly, and I prefer to use a brush, so I'm using a Refer number 21. I prefer to use the little tapping motions just so that the product stays right where I want it to, and you have less of a chance of any streakiness. I'm going to allow this to dry. This is now dry to the touch, so I want to see if I can add another layer, a thin layer, mind you. This is what it looks like with a second layer. I do prefer it with just one layer. Next up, I'm going in with the shade Dogbane on this same brush. I just wiped it off. I've cleaned off those colors, and now we're gonna go in with Scarab. I love this because, well, it's a name in my palette. And just so you guys know, my eyes are primed. They're not set, but I did allow the primer some time to set up. And by set, I mean I didn't put a powder over top of my primer. Next up, we have the shade Ultra Violet. I also want to mention that I do prefer to start at the center of the lid and then blend it outward to the inner corner and outer portion of the eye. Now I want to see what will happen if I try to use more than one of these at a time. So I'm going to take the shade Dragonfly and go right over the edge of Ultraviolet. On the outer corner of Scarab, I'm going to go in with Infra Nude. This is the shade that I'm going to use when I do my eye look that I'm wearing right now, but I just want to see how it applies over top of Scarab. And now let's move on to the eye look that I am currently wearing. For this look, I'm using my Tiny Marvels palette, and I'm starting off with Tree Hopper on a BK Beauty 201. I am just going to quickly pop this into the crease and transition area. Wayne Goss number 20, same shade, running that right along the lower lash line. Stilazzi Color Blend L211, I'm taking the shade Flutterby. Starting on the outer corner, and then working it into the crease and upward. Same shade, Refer 03, stamping that right along the lower lash line. And then blending out the edges with the Wayne Goss number 20, no additional product. Now I'm going to go in with the Chromium Liquid Eyeshadow from Natasha Denona in Infra Nude. On a Refer number 14, I'm picking up very, very little product. I want to place this into the crease and kind of blend out first. Back and forth motions, but also like little stamping motions so that it's not harsh. Same liquid shadow, Refer 21, going all over the lid. Back into the Tiny Marvels palette, grabbing the shade Web on a Sonia G Flat Definer. I'm placing this just right on the inner corner. Lastly, I'm taking Walk-In Stick on a Bristles Beauty P06 RF, and I'm kind of making a little bit of a liner angled upward on the outer corner, not taking this all the way in. I will finish off with liner on the inner rim and mascara. Opinion time. How do I feel about these beauties? I actually like them. I was a little concerned just because with her last launch, these, what are these called? These are the Chroma Crystal Liquid Shadows, which I do need to mention. These are on sale right now for like 50% off on Sephora's website. These were a little hit or miss. Some of them I liked, some of them are like a little iffy, and I did find that they could look a little crumbly. Not all of them, but like I said, it's just a little hit or miss. I liked them. I wasn't in love with them. Some of them I was not a fan of. So it's just, these were not consistent. So I wasn't sure how the new ones were going to perform. And then on top of that, if you remember the Stila Mystery, I don't remember what they were called, but they were a mess. So I didn't really go into this with any expectations, but I am happy with the results. I like the way that these apply. Now, before the video, I was kind of playing with them with my finger and things like that. With the finger, you're definitely going to get a little bit more of a sheer application. And if you do that, I would suggest, you know, wearing a shadow or like black liner. It's just like a regular black pencil all over, smudged out, and then put it on top. You'll get a little bit more impact. If you wear them and they're too thin, it can look like they are patchy, even though they're not really patchy. It's just there's certain applications that work best. And for me, I definitely prefer a thinner brush and tapping it on the lid, or even how you saw me apply it into the crease. I use a tiny little bit, went back and forth, and I kind of stamped. And that stamping motion allows it to go right where you want it and stay there. I don't like these as much when you layer them on top of each other, like putting the same color on top. It just kind of, it can accentuate your lid. If you have any crepiness or anything like that, I prefer just one nice layer. But with that being said, I do like it when you take these, use one shade all over, and then put another shade on the outer corner. For me, it looks a little bit more crepey on my eyes on the inner portion than it does on the outer portion. So when I layered them, I really loved the effect. The two that I think that looks absolutely phenomenal together is Scarab and the shade that I'm wearing right now, which is Infrared Nude. I keep wanting to say infrared, so it's not coming out of my mouth correctly. Infrared Nude. Yeah, those two, oh my gosh, absolutely gorgeous. Some of these are just a little bit more intense right off the bat than others, like Scarab and Dragonfly. Those definitely have a lot of opacity to them. But again, there's none of these that I feel like I just don't like. I do think that some of them need to have just like a little bit more product. When I was applying them, I would add a little at a time. So instead of just going in with one layer and then adding another one, which, like I said, that's not my favorite thing to do, I would kind of just add just a tiny bit where I felt like I needed to, and it looked beautiful. But if I wanted them to be a little bit more intense, I could easily just put a shadow underneath, or again, a liner, anything that I wanted to. Overall, I'm very happy with these, but there are some things that I want to mention. And the first being the size and the price. So they're $28. I believe these were $25. I might be mistaken. I feel like they were $25. So you're getting 2.5 mils or 0.08 fluid ounces. That is for the new ones. The old ones are 8 mils or 0.27 fluid ounces. So you're definitely getting more in the old version, but I much prefer this. And on top of that, the shelf life for these is 6 months, and the shelf life for the old ones, let's see, again, this, I'm telling you, the writing, I can't tell if that says 18 or 24. I'm gonna get my little flashlight on my phone. Scratch that. I'm gonna take a picture and zoom in. It's 18. 18 months. So a lot more longevity when we're talking about these. Now, when you go over to Stila, these retail for $24 and they have 0.153 fluid ounces. So you're getting more product. And again, the shelf life is longer, but that's kind of what makes me concerned, because these do have a tendency to dry out. And I'm just wondering, with these being so little, if it's gonna dry out. Now, I'm not saying that they will, it's just a concern of mine and something that I will have to keep you guys updated on. But I am a little bit worried about the longevity. Now, 6 months, if it says 6 months and it dries out in 6 months, then I can't really complain, because that is the time frame on it. So you were told in advance before you paid for it. Now with these, they say 12 months, and some of them just dry out really quickly. And I have found that, you know, adding Fix Plus or something like that brings them back to life. And that might be the case for these as well. Again, I will keep you guys updated. Overall, I really like these. I'm not gonna wear all of these by themselves like, you know, I showed you in the demo. I just wanted you guys to be able to see them by themselves. But I just think that they are gorgeous. They're easy to apply. I like the texture of them. Some of them are more intense, like I mentioned, but my favorites, I believe, are Scarab. I really like the one that I have on right now, Infrared Nude. There's just something about it that it is beautiful. And then when you combine it with Scarab, it's just like, I love it so, so much. Now I want to show you guys some comparisons. First, let's talk about these cream shadows from Sydney Grace. These are beautiful. I'm going to show you a clip that I took a long time ago whenever these came out. They are smooth, they last on the lids so nicely, and the shift is one of the best that I have tried. I just think that these are absolutely amazing. Sydney Grace also has them in the pans, which I like. I love having them in just like a shadow form because I found that the pigments, I threw a lot of them away. Okay, they were just a pain in the butt for me, and then when these came out, I was like, oh, done, and then the cream shadows as well. But here we have, let me see the shade names, Chameleonaire. I'm gonna swatch these. Twisted Shifter, and this one is Beauregard. So I'm gonna put them on my hands really quickly. You see? I just feel like it's not gonna show up as well on camera. I hate that, but they're so good. Twisted Shifter. They're so smooth too. Beautiful. And then here's Beauregard. See, pull this down so I don't get it all over myself. Can you guys see? I'm trying to get I just don't know that I'm gonna be able to get it on camera. Hopefully you guys can see that. Hopefully. I'm trying to do all the twisted motions I possibly can here. Yeah. Beautiful. I gotta show you the Pat McGrath Divine Rose 2. There is a multi-chrome in here. She called it something trio chrome, something like that. This shade right here, and you can see it in the pan. You see how it turns from pink to the green? Ah, so pretty. I'm gonna put this right here. There you go. You can see that. You have a lot of different options when it comes to this type of a look, the multi-chromes, whether you want it in a pan eyeshadow, whether you want it in a palette, whether you want it in a cream or a liquid shadow with a doe foot, or even in the loose pigments. So I would say that the loose pigment to me is the most messy. So do your makeup after you've done your eyes if you're gonna go with that route. Personally, I love all of these. I'm just very curious to see how long that these are gonna last, but I do like them. I like them a lot, and I think that they are far superior to the original release, which these were not multi-chromes or anything else, but when we're talking about just straight formula, I feel like these are much better. Anywho, that is it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed my thoughts and the demo and comparisons on this new product from Natasha Denona. Thank you, Natasha, for sending these over to me. I truly appreciate it. Now let's get into the giveaway. I almost forgot. I have not opened these or anything, so my hands have not been on the actual product, but they have been on the boxes. I know that we've got some things going on in the world, so if you do not want to be entered, do not, it's totally fine. I'm trying to be as sensitive to that as I possibly can, and I will be wiping these down before I put them in a box to ship. This is open internationally. I will ship wherever I am allowed to, and you guys have a week. Just comment that you want to be entered into the giveaway, and then leave me a method to get in touch with you. The easiest way for me is either your email or your Instagram. A week from today, and I don't even know when this video is going up, so I'm just gonna leave that information down below, but 12 o'clock p.m. Central Time, I will be letting the winner know, and I will obviously announce it here as well. 24 hours though, you guys, make sure that you are checking, because 24 hours, I've got to go on to another winner, and I hate doing that. I really do. I've had to do it before, and I just do not like to do it, but I want to give back to you guys and say thank you. So I hope that this makes somebody's day. I love you all. Thank you so much for watching, and again, check out the details down below if you want to be entered into this giveaway. I'll see you all in my next video. Bye, guys.